The princess, I presume.
Oh, well, I'm actually just a miner, but I appreciate the compliment.
So notice how a miner is one that digs for gold in a deep, dark tunnel or cavern. And of course, a miner is also a child. So we call our children a kid. A kid is actually a baby goat. And of course, the old horny goat is the symbol of fertility that comes from old Saturn, who rides the goat. So Christmas time or the New Year is actually the height, the solstice of the mid-L of the sun, which is exactly why it opposes or is anti towards the fullness of the sun in the summer solstice. Therefore, this is the time of the goat, and that's exactly why it is the Antichrist. It is the goat of Capricorn, the goat of Saturn. So the son of Saturn is Zeus, and of course Zeus was an orphan. He was raised by a goat. So the house of Capricorn, the goat, is just one of the animals of the zodiac. It's one of the aspects of God or of nature. So this is why you'll always see the devil or Satan portrayed as one of these few animals, as either a bull or as a ram or as a goat. So this is exactly why you'll find the symbolism of the goat throughout the world, throughout the symbolism of secret societies, governments, and religions, and Hollywood cartoons, because this is an ancient symbol of the old aspect of nature and of God, the old horny goat. And this is not a new concept. It goes back literally thousands and thousands of years. So like I said, this is towards the end of the year when things are turned upside down or are inverted. It is the anti of, which is why Satanists, who claim to be inverted or opposers of the same religion, use the goat mainly as their symbol, which represents the symbol of Capricorn, Saturn, thus Satanists. So that's why I said that the Holly King is also Saturn L, with his goat, which goes way back into history. St. Nicholas had Krampus. It was a devil, an evil, disgusting, debaucherous, satanic goat that would actually go after children and collect children. That's what they used to use to scare the children of ancient times. So it's pretty disgusting that even today Santa Claus, of course, is related to the children. He lost the goat, but still retains his animal that is known as a horned little creature. And by the way, originally the buck was actually from a goat. Now, of course, the etymology of God is the Germanic Gott, or the Middle English Gott, which is a goat. And of course, this is why there are so many goat sacrifices in the Bible. And of course, this is why the goat is also related to Jesus, the parable of Jesus. The parable of the sheep and the goat is actually talking about winter and summer, the bi-season of the year, on the left and the right. So the scapegoat is where we have two goats, and one goat is allowed to escape. The other goat is the Lord's goat. The high priest sacrifices the goat and sprinkles the goat's blood on the Ark of the Covenant. So this marks the time of the autumn equinox, the separation of September. Thus, the parable of the goat is about Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year, the new year, Yom Kippur. Thus, this was the time of the purge, the Day of Atonement, the Day of Judgment. So that's where you get the demonic goat Azazel, who was cast out and carried the sins of Israel. As I've explained before, if you're a Christian or you're a Satanist, it doesn't matter. You're both just polar opposites or anti one another of the same exact concept. So this is why one symbol is verted upright, most high, and the other is inverted, the most low. But they're both God, just in different aspects of the same exact one God. People have divided the divinity of the deity of God and choose one aspect or the other. So this is why both Satanists and Christian use the exact same symbol of the pentagram. Like I've explained, the pentagram is just the pentalpha, which means it is made of 5 triangles, which come from the bull, the triangle, and of course a triangle, or the aleph, is actually the A, which is the bull's head. So like I said, the Bible is about the dualistic principle of the 2 seasons of the year and of the day of the deity. Remember that the God of the Bible made both summer and winter, both day and night. Therefore, God is responsible and is God of both realms, whether in his high aspect or his low inverted aspect, of the devil or of the bearded goat god, or the aspect of the bull, or the aspect of the lion of Judah. These, like I said before, are just the aspects or the animals that represent the zoo of the zodiac. So like I said, they use the ignorance of the people against themselves and just take something basic and make it evil so people are afraid of it. They're afraid of the wisdom. So you don't learn it, so you stay dumb. Take the Baphomet, for example, the goat head, who is a transgender anthropomorphic animal, both male and female, because this represents Saturn. He is in the mid-L, in between a male and a female, which is a transgender, right? It is a hermaphrodite. So the Baphomet is just an anthropomorphic character of nature. They've chosen to depict it in an evil way, but it's the same exact thing as summer and winter or day and night. It's a very simple concept that they have turned around, reversed, and fooled the people with it. So is it satanic? Well, yeah, because it's Saturn. It's the satyr. Okay, it's Pan, Faunus. It's the jester character, the little evil spirit that they're representing to be nature during the evil time of darkness, during the underworld, when Saturn L is in charge. And it must have been like over 10 years ago that I explained how Cronus, or Saturn L, is the god in Phoenicia that created Byblos, thus the name of the Bible. So now you understand a little bit more of how the goat is related to God, and of course why the Freemasons and secret societies use the symbol of the goat. You know, it's not just the storm god Jesus who's related to the goat, but also Saturn, or Cronus' son, Zeus, is also related to the goat. He was raised by a goat. And look over at Thor, the other god of thunder and lightning. He also is related to the goat. So Peter Pan is basically the green man who represents Saturn L, the satyr. He is the pervert fertility that represents the essence of Saturnalia, or Saturn, the god of chaos and sexual debauchery and fertility. So this is why Pan was known for blowing his little pan pipes, thus the symbol of blowing a pipe, which represents a blowjob, because the pipe represents the phallic pipe. So believe me, there's a lot more to these stories than what meets the eye. So I covered this years ago, but I want to include it in this series on the Disney film called Monsters, which is just full of Illuminati symbolism, where once again we have a little girl who is left alone with these beasts, these horny monsters. Again, we have the one-eyed monster, and the little girl's name is Boo. Like I've explained before, a boo is a girlfriend, the one that has the boobs and the booty. By the way, did you notice the teddy bear? So I used to show this film to my kids when they were little, but now it just makes me absolutely sick.
So how's our little beau doing? So how's our little beau doing?
So then we come to the phallic symbolism of Popeye, which is pretty much self-explanatory. But I want you to watch this clip right here where, once again we're talking about pirates, the peg leg, of course, and watch how her butt is always in the air.
Get me out of here! Coming through!
Don't worry, Miss Oil. I'll save you.
Save me? Who's gonna save you?
I'll be right with you.
This is all just a dream. Ah!
I am sorry, just taking a little longer than I thought.
Happy thoughts, carry children.
Olive! Olive! I'll show you. Oh.
Popeye! Oh!
I told you there ain't no last women. Oh.
So as you see, this Illuminati gay perverted agenda is not only for the children or adults, it's for both. Believe me, I could sit here all day long, going through films and movies and showing the hidden symbolism. So anyway, at least now when you see, things like the Pied Piper, you'll actually understand the truth of blowing the pipe and leading the kids astray. That's exactly why you blow on the horny horn. In fact, this is why today it's still called the bullhorn. And of course, now you'll understand why men stare at goats.
Mind.
Holy.
Did you notice that it was goat number 5, the goat in the pentagram? And of course that's why they show you the Pentagon. So remember earlier I told you all about Hunter S. Thompson, his affiliation with Bohemian Grove, where they worship the owl, and of course how he wrote, gonzo journalism and became part of the story. And, of course, how he had a farm that was called the Owl Farm. And, of course, when he was on David Letterman, he says he likes to kill, thus the rum diary of murder. And, of course, I showed you how Johnny Depp, defends him and idolizes him. He's a father figure, a mentor. So I wanted to draw your attention to the fact that the character called Gonzo on Sesame Street was actually most likely characterized after Gonzo himself, Hunter S. Thompson. And they're telling you that he's crooked and evil by his crooked, bent, phallic nose. So of course now you'll understand the truth behind Pinocchio, because he is the penis eye that grows bigger and bigger. Just like when we went down the rabbit hole in Where the Wild Things Are with the big nose. And of course, the cock. The cock, or the pecker, which is exactly why this little flamboyant peckerhead has a cock. And so now you'll understand why they used to shoot Gonzo from a big cannon. And of course, Gonzo was actually known to be a plunger as well, which is another blatant symbol of the sex act.
And back and forth, up and down.
And if you actually knew the truth, it'd make you sick to realize that they have what's called going gonzo for kids. And of course, he knew too much, which is why the Illuminati sacrificed him.